Tonight, on World's Wackiest Heroes, we have 4 new unlikely challengers with even more mundane challenges. First up, Miss Vortex Hunter and her enemy, the Raging Tornado. Will she be able to capture this ferocious beast on her own?
This magic trick is basically just like making your own storm and trapping it in a bottle. It involves producing a vortex such as those observed in cyclones, tornadoes, and whirlpools. The initial small rotation caused by spinning the bottles gains speed as the water is sucked through the opening. As the rotation speeds up, the swirling vortex forms, which makes your capture a success.
Up next is the rising amateur page crawler. Armed with his trusty ruler newspaper, how will he use his knowledge of friction? Well, it all comes down to air pressure. Atmospheric pressure is exerting a downward force on the single sheet of a newspaper. The area of a single sheet of newspaper is fairly large, therefore the downward force of the atmospheric pressure exerted on the newspaper is strong enough to counter the upward force of hitting the ruler. Third on the list is the Zen master Cram. With his mystical skill of not moving even when he should, it looks like he has met his match with Can't Move. Can. Can't. Can't. No, really. No? Okay. An experiment he did on a whim. Will he be able to stand to his experiment gone wrong?
Balancing a soda can on its edge, or what I call soda balance, relies on finding the center of gravity of the can and adjusting it by adding a certain amount of liquid into the can, which will result to the soda can to balance on its edge.
And lastly, Liquid Fist, with the ability to splash away any fluid in his way. But what he doesn't know is that there's one stubborn fluid that has enough bite to its bark.
This stubborn fluid is a mixture of cornstarch and water, also known as an oobleck. Ooblecks are non-Newtonian fluids, meaning they interact and resist forces much more differently than regular fluids. This is because of a physical phenomenon known as shear thickening, which occurs in materials that are essentially suspensions of microscopic solids. This shear thickening happens because the friction between the solid particles causes them to lock onto each other, thus making the fluid solid once sudden pressure or force is applied. Now that you've seen our 4 heroes, which of them do you think is the best? Comment below and subscribe.